but damn. And the winner is Anand.
Yeah, I truly didn't expect this because all of, I mean it might be a cliche because we've been talking about this. All of us were so good, and I particularly, I'm a fan of Bogdan. I'm a fan of Hassan, and everybody has something so special and so interesting that I thought, okay, maybe I stood an outside chance. I mean, these are sincere emails I wrote to friends saying, forget it, guys. It's so tough. Others are so good. So I just hope that I stand a chance, and I'm really happy. This is I didn't prepare a speech. I didn't think of anything to say. I'm sorry. But first thing, this is not an individual recognition for me. It's for something that I represent, and I would like to dedicate this to the legacy of B.R. Ambedkar, Bhimrao Ambedkar. If those who are in London, if they are unfamiliar with him, could go to the London School of Economics and look at his bust. He studied there. And Navayana is inspired by him. So Navayana literally means the new Buddhist path that he founded. He's the builder of modern India, as I see it. Some people call him the champion of Dalits. That's not alone. That's not what alone all that he is. And I would like to remember my friend Ravi Kumar, who pushed me into this. He is not familiar enough with English, and he is not under 35 to be here. Otherwise, he would be here taking this. And I really don't know what more to say. This is really fabulous. I thank each one of you. I truly didn't expect this. And yeah, I mean, everybody at the British Council, and Pablo in particular, has been adorable. He has been such a good shepherd, as I sometimes call him. Thank you, one and all. I think I've run out of my 2 minutes. Thank you.
Congratulations for winning the International Young Publisher of the Year.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Well, I had such mixed feelings. I really didn't know that I was probably going to win. I wanted to, of course, just like everybody else was there. And when the citations were read, and mine was pretty short and very kind of neat, trim. I thought, okay, they didn't even like what I had to offer. But actually, one of the people from India who was sitting in the audience, my friend Ritu Menon, she said, just because of that, I thought they have something for you. So I felt delighted. As I said in the acceptance, it's not an individual honor for me. It backs something which is more of a kind of a movement in India. It's about recognizing caste discrimination in India as an offence, as something that needs to be tackled.
So are you publishing everything in the English language at the moment, or?
Yeah, we do. We are only an English language publisher. We do deal with translations, and the main book pitch for me here, Namdev Dasal's poetry collection, was translated from Marathi. We believe that very good Indian writing, and especially from people who don't have access to English, and also because there are about 30 major Indian languages, most of good Indian writing does happen in Indian languages. People who do not have access to English. So we do look at other Indian languages, but English is a link language in India.
Yeah. So, I mean, are you looking for an international audience as well as an Indian one as well?
Certainly. See, for instance, Namdev Dasal is a world-class poet, and he is one of the finest poets of the 20th century. Now you have Neruda. I mean, he doesn't write in English, right? But people know Neruda. But they need to know Namdev Dasal.
Yes.
And there's never been a great translation available, and this is the first time we are making available. I mean, I recently read a Penguin interview in this London Book Fair publishing news. They said in 20 years we haven't been able to create an Indian brand out of an Indian language author. They admitted that, and they're ashamed of it. And Penguin has published, Arundhati Roy, Shobha Day, what have you, Vikram Seth, everybody. But these are all people who write in English. So Namdev Dasal, I'm not saying he's better than that or anything. He's simply world class, and I think the book that I have published will put him up front in the reckoning for the Nobel Prize for Literature. He's that good, and I'm not exaggerating.
Well, I was very impressed by the translation at the book pitch. That was, there's very vibrant English as well.
Yeah. And Dilip Chitre, the translator, is somebody who writes poetry in Marathi, somebody who writes poetry in English, and somebody who translates with such felicitousness from one language to the other. And he is superb, and he has already issued a wonderful translation of a 17th century Marathi poet, which is even tougher than translating your contemporary poet.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Language. The living spirit looking out of hundreds of thousands of sad, pitiful eyes has shaken me. I am broken by the revolt exploding inside me. There's no moonlight anywhere, there's no water anywhere. A rabid fox is tearing off my flesh with its teeth, and a terrible, venom-like cruelty spreads out from my monkey bone.
So, have you had much chance to network whilst you've been over here?
Certainly, and some of it was totally unexpected. Through the British Council and on my own initiative, I set up meetings with some publishers whom I saw as having a common cause with us. And I have a meeting right now at 3:30. I need to be going with Verso. And and some unexpected meetings like having a good session with Barrington Stoke, and the fact that the British Council took us through a spectrum of the publishing industry. It's not just editors we met the distribution end, we met the rights people, we met a kind of a cross section of the publishing industry, and that was very, very useful. I hope to cash in on these contacts that I have.
Okay, so where do you take the process from here?
So I haven't really thought about it. I did say that there'll be a great interaction that's possible between. See, I publish exclusively on caste, almost exclusively. We do other non-caste related titles. It's a critical engagement with caste in the sense that we are an anti-caste publisher. It's like saying a publishing house equivalent which deals with racial discrimination. We deal with caste discrimination. So it looks like a niche area, but I think caste discrimination needs to be made a universal issue. People have talked about South Africa and apartheid. People know there's apartheid, knew there was apartheid in South Africa and opposed it. There were sanctions on South Africa. India, unfortunately, continues to have some kind of ghetto culture where the Dalits, untouchables, 170 million people. 170 million people out of about a billion people. About 17% of the population. Out of which 90% live in villages. These people are forced to lead a segregated life, meaning they do not have access to a common tea shop, common street, or a well, or a resource of water, or a temple. So it's actually segregation that happens in India in a strict sense of the term. Probably if you see a bunch of Indians together in a village, you might say all of them look alike. It's not like black and white race.
Right, no.
But the discrimination is almost racial.
Yeah.
That's why the Dalits in India, as the untouchables have fashioned themselves, they have been lobbying with the United Nations for recognition of the fact that caste discrimination is equal to racial discrimination. Now this whole focus on Navayana, thanks to this IYPY award, probably also will help turn the focus on the Dalit movement in India. I mean, I'm just an agent in the middle, somebody who just probably unwittingly facilitates this.
Yeah.
No more.
Well, I think you do it very well.
Okay.
Thank you very much for talking to us.